Welcome to Comfort Zone, a podcast all about pushing a host, outside of their comfort zone. I'm Christopher Lawley, and each week I am joined by two incredible co-hosts. As always, I'm joined by Matt Birchler. Matt, how are you doing?
Oh, Chris, I'm feeling silly today.
Ooh, I like it. Comfort Zone is at its best when we're silly.
Yes.
And we're also joined by Niléane. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Hello, daddies. Can I call you daddies?
I don't like it.
No,
I
I
don't
don't
like
like
it.
that. No, don't like that at all.
Oh, I don't see why. Okay, I'm
The
doing
dads
well.
are fine,
Yeah?
but not the other thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's strange. Okay.
We're strange?
I'm doing
Yeah.
well. I had planned a prank for Chris. You see, Chris is weirded out by people who hold mics in their hand. And since I have a new mic today, which I will mention later in the show, I thought, hey, I will handhold my my old mic. You can see if you're watching the video, you can see my old mic. I'm using my hand to hold it. But it would have been difficult prank to pull off because I would need to plug another cable in, and Chris would have not liked that if I plugged.
Where
a
is
different
Max
cable.
Stories HR? I'm being targeted. This is targeted harassment here. Where is
Yeah.
John? You used to be a lawyer. I'm assuming you're at Max Stories HR. Where are you?
He's not
John
coming to
likes
rescue.
the people though.
Yeah,
He would rule in our favor.
Yeah, and he likes a good practical joke too. So, all right. Well, we have some tiny topics. Niléane, I think this is your first in the document here. What do you got for us? You're doing something.
Yeah, I wrote in the document that I'm changing people's lives, just FYI. If you click that link, it's a post from a listener called Tristan. And he wrote in, Niléane, your tip about listening to Apple TV audio through the MacBook is honestly life-changing. Their words, not mine. I only use wired headphones and I've been struggling with how to connect headphones without rigging up DACs through the TV, etc. And he said, thank you. So you're welcome. And see, I'm changing people's lives every day. And the people tell you you're welcome.
Hey, Matt. We know Niléane is a bit of a Mastodon expert. Are we sure this isn't just her? You know?
Is it not?
I mean, it could just be Niléane, saying she's changing people's lives. I don't know.
It's a public
Hey,
post. It's a public post.
I'm just putting it out there that, maybe you're running multiple accounts and maybe, I don't know. I'm just messing with
I would
you.
have not picked Tristan as a name.
Well, now it
What's
seems like
wrong?
you're attacking Tristan.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, wow, that's hurtful.
I just know
okay,
better
shoot,
than to get
yeah.
on Niléane's bad side.
Yeah.
The liquid glass is as close as I've crawled up to that line, but
Yeah.
No, I really like your name, Tristan. You were collateral in there. I'm sorry.
So I last week talked about the Focus Friend app, and in there I mentioned the allow list wasn't working for me. I have since fixed that issue, and I just wanted to mention if you were having the same issue. Basically, what I did is I went in to edit the allow list, deleted everything that was in there, and then just re-added stuff, like re-added apps, and didn't go by categories. So I did individual apps instead of selecting productivity category, utility category, creative category. I just went in and picked individual apps, and it worked after that. I don't know why the categories aren't working.
Weird.
I don't know if that's an app issue or a Focus Friend issue or an Apple issue. I don't know. But they did just put out an update, and they now have a block list. So you can either pick from an allow list, which is like allow these apps, or you can pick from a block list, which would be block these specific apps. So whichever way you want to go, you could do that now.
Nice. Love to see that app get some love.
Mm-hmm.
For my side, I have one follow-up item as well, which could be a topic, but is so short and so simple. I'm a big fan of daily games. I like a daily game I can play daily. And I have two new ones from the same company that have just hit me. One is called Coffee Golf, and the other is called Coffee Pool. And they are so delightful. Coffee Golf is this interesting little golf game where you play 5 holes every day, and it shows you in what percentile of the world you're in, which I always love to see. And then Coffee pool is kind of you get put into a weird pool situation, like billiards pool, not swimming pool. And yeah, you have to knock in like 5 balls with like weird rules. Either it's normal rules, or maybe there's bumpers on the table, maybe there's weird gravity, maybe there's a certain order you must get them in, and it's always a fun little puzzle. So wanted to shout out these games, and I'll have links in the show notes so you can check them out.
Nice. That's awesome. I've been, when that, we did the daily game challenge, I had a golf game that I had a lot of fun with that I played for a little while, and I actually had to take it off my phone or iPad, whatever I had it on, because I was getting a little too addictive. And yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the nice thing about daily games is, especially a good one, is like 2 minutes of your time and then you're done. You can't do too much.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. All right. Well, let's get in the main show. Matt, you're first up in the document. What do you got for us this week?
Okay. So I am bringing something that is very, 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 very new to me.
Oh.
I am 4 days into this experiment, so this is definitely hot off the presses, not a full review or anything. I am using the app Capacities, which is pitched as a studio for your mind. So it's one of those sorts of apps where it kind of revolves around daily notes and creating other notes for whatever you want, and you can link them back and forth. And kind of the thing that they do is they let you create objects. So everything is an object in Capacities. So your daily note is an object, and you can create a template for it and assign tags and properties to it. Think of like a Notion sort of thing. There's other ones for like people, meeting notes. You can create your own like custom whatever you want. So like if you wanted to use this to track the movies you watched, you could create a movie object and give it like director, release year, poster, and all these things. So kind of your own little quick reviews if you wanted. But it is, yeah, just one of those things. It's kind of in the vein of what people use Obsidian for, Notion for, Roam Research, if we go back to like the 2019 heyday of backlinking, the backlinking revolution that kicked off in Notes. And I am trying it because I've had just so many challenges at work recently where we're getting into like quarterly planning time, and like I need to defend the things that I want to do and why we're doing them and who asked for them and who's going to use them. And I keep it all up here. But it turns out if you need these very specific things, it's hard to remember exactly. So the brain is good for remembering themes, and obviously we need to do this, but who was I talking to that said this thing? God, it's hard to find in a calendar search even. So I have been basically using this for meeting notes, and then I've actually stopped using things for my task management for 4 days. I'm sure I'll be back, but I'm using the daily note to just like make little tasks. And then the day before, so like what I've been doing, and this is such a good practice and I always like doing it, but I always stop doing it, is basically before I like wrap up work for the day, I'll go to the next day's daily note and I will write down like, here are the things that yesterday me said I wanted to do. And so I don't forget what they are and don't like open Slack and see my 200 unread messages and get sucked into those things. So it's that's all the concept. In general, this is a pretty nice app, although it's not, I will say it is nice, but there's a couple things that are just little paper cuts for me. Keyboard shortcuts aren't as good as they should be, I don't think. Like there's some places like I feel like we're very used to, you open like a modal, like a little note comes up as like a pop-up over the whole screen, and escape, you would think closes it. No, escape does not close it. You have to click in the like on the background to get rid of it. There's little things like that here and there. So I don't adore it, but it is actually pretty decent for having kind of this like concept of daily notes and meeting notes, which is kind of my main thing. So this lets you connect your calendar, Google Calendar or Outlook, Looking at you, Chris. I'm so sorry.
I remember I've switched to Google Calendar.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
That's a lot easier to switch from iCloud to Google Calendar than it is to switch your
True.
email to Google
True.
Business. So
Okay.
that was one of those things I gave up because of the product shall not be named anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, so you can connect your calendar, and so basically the UI, if you would imagine, and the center is your note, the note you're working on, which is typically your daily note. On the right is your calendar with a list of your day's events. And I've shared screenshots of my calendar with you guys a few times. I live in a nightmare
horrifying
world of meetings.
I don't know how you get anything done.
Well, that is the struggle I'm trying to fix. But yes, just for listeners, I have probably 8 to 12 meetings per day. It is wild.
Insanity.
I know. So anyway, so when I go into a meeting, I can hit the calendar's events over there. I can just hit a plus button. It immediately creates a meeting note for me with the name of the event. And then there's a billion ways to record meetings. So I've been using ChatGPT, the desktop app, just has a record button on it, and it will record your video call and will create a meeting summary for you afterwards, which is pretty decent. It does a very bad job of naming people because all it does is record the audio. So it knows. Yeah. So if you don't say someone's name in a meeting, or like say, I am Matt and I am committing to do this, the action items will not necessarily identify me as the person. So I need to tailor those.
I just had a corporate Vietnam PTSD flashback moment to where that is absolutely how meetings are going to start working in the next few years of I am Christopher Lawley, senior blah, 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 blah. Okay, AI, now you have identified me. I can start speaking now.
So if you want a peek behind the curtain, in the corporate world, a big thing that is huge right now are these AI assistants that will join the call as a participant. So if the four of us or three of us were having a meeting, for work, there'd also be a fourth just bot silently on the call called Read AI Assistant, or there's a bunch of companies that do this. And so they actually do have all the names and they know who says things. And so, because they're natively in the call. And those two are
so they can see this person is talking.
Yeah.
And they've logged in and it shows their name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They're actually in the call. They can actually know who's saying what and everything. Those are actually nice because, well, not to get on a tangent, but those are nice because when you have another meeting with the same client or whoever, the morning before that meeting, Read AI knows that you've talked to them already, and they'll remind you what you talked about last time with them, which is so helpful.
That I could see being really nice.
That is very nice.
There was a lot of times I'd have calls with vendors or something, or people that consulted with us, or contractors or whatever in my IT days, and be like, what was this meeting about again?
Yeah. So not to get too far on that tangent, but basically now what I have in Capacities is I have a daily note where I'm just writing random little things and keeping a little task list for what I'm working on. And then I have these meeting notes where I have the summary, and then I have my own notes that I take during it if I want to note anything particular. And what I'm hoping this will do, and I'm only 4 days in, so it's hard to say how successful this will be, but I'm hoping that I can use this to easily search on the things that I've talked about. I've created tags for different projects, different people. So I'm hoping this will make it easy to search through that stuff and remember actually where I said things. Obviously, I could do this in just plain text files. I could do this in Obsidian. I could do this in Notion. So I don't know if Capacities is the place to do it, but I wanted to give it a shot because I heard about them a couple years ago and kind of bounced off it, but wanted to give them another shot. Last thing, in terms of cost, there's a free tier that is quite good. Lets you create unlimited notes, lets you attach things, lets you create as many objects as you want, has full search and everything, so that's nice. But Capacities Pro is probably what you want. It's $10 a month, and that adds the calendar integration, which is the core thing for me. So if I keep up with this, I'm going to have to do that. There's a 14-day trial I'm on right now. Task actions are cool. So I'm making these to-dos in Capacities, but they have integrations to Todoist, to Things, to other ones, I think. And so on the task, there's a little airplane, like paper airplane icon. You can click that, and it will mark it as like sent to your task manager, and it'll create a task in your task manager.
That's very nice.
Yeah. So
I just built a shortcut that
Yeah.
that basically looks at my Obsidian daily note and uses the use model action to basically look at it, see pull anything that might be a task, and then add it to Todoist. So that's actually kind of cool that it's built right in.
Nice. Yeah, it is pretty cool because like I'm basically making my like tiny little tasks for myself tickets. Oh boy, the corporate world is seeping into my brain. Tasks for myself.
You're literally just giving me like PTSD flashbacks.
I know.
Now.
Welcome
So
to my
much.
world.
I'm like, I thought I was out.
But yeah, so I'm basically making those tasks, and then as I finish them throughout the day, I just check them off, and then the ones that I don't, I can either move to the next day's note easily, or I can make a things task. So pretty nice. The other thing you get is AI search, and unfortunately, the AI search is like the worst thing in this. It's not at all what I expected it to be. Basically, all it does, you have to give it context, and so you have to give it like specific meeting notes, and you can say summarize this meeting or ask questions about that specific meeting, but there's no way to just like bring up a thing that says find all the meetings where I talked about this. It doesn't like have the full context of your notes like Notion does with their AI feature. So that's a real bummer. So to like find all these things later, I need to just do a normal search.
Do you know if that search is happening on device or is it going out? Like, could it just be using a really small, older model that?
It's using 4.0.
Oh.
Yeah. You can bring your own key, but it's the way it is in the UI. I can't really describe it really well, but you kind of like have to add context to the thing. And if you add no context, it's like, what are you talking about? I have no idea about anything in your library. So kind of a bummer. Hopefully that'll improve. But yeah, just out of curiosity, I exported these to Notion and created like meeting notes in Notion and then did a random search, and it totally works. So hope they improve this.
Notion search is no joke. Like it is really, really good. But this app reminds me a lot of Agenda. Have you
I was
used
about
that?
to say.
Oh,
Yes.
nice.
Yeah,
Have
it
you
looks a
used
lot
Agenda?
like Agenda.
Agenda was one of those apps that was like big, like 2018, I want to say, something like that. Like that was a big app, and it kind of does something similar to this, that it's like, here's your calendar events and here's your daily notes and kind of things like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like this more than Agenda.
Okay.
That's all I will say.
Okay, fair enough. I do have one other question. Why use a separate app? Because I know you use Obsidian to do a lot of your writing. Why not just do daily notes in Obsidian? Because they're big on that, and there's a lot of like plugins and stuff that you can use to really customize that.
Yeah, I think it is something I should explore. This is definitely not one of those things where I'm coming in and saying I have found the perfect solution. This is definitely me just trying something and seeing how it works. Obsidian is probably the best place to do this ultimately. What I liked about Capacities is it's built for this. The UI is really built around this. And like, honestly, that ability to see my calendar and click one button and have a meeting note already created, like formatted correctly and everything, that's really nice. So
there is Obsidian plugins that do that. I know that.
Okay. So I'll have to look into that because obviously Obsidian would be free as well to get all these features. So yeah, something to explore. But just the idea of me taking notes is a brand new concept because I hate notes. I hate taking notes. I hate I don't like the second brain concept.
Yeah,
I love the concept. I just can never make it work for me. So
there's definitely a balancing act. I'm not full second brain where like everything is linked and there's one senior note and then like there's junior notes or whatever they call them. I don't remember. But there's bits of the second brain stuff that I take and I kind of mold into my own. And I am a big, like, if this is a piece of information I will need or an idea or something, I will write it down. And I write it down all in one place, which is Obsidian for me.
Yeah. Yeah. You know how like people think like AI stuff is like all a scam? I think that web, that like the array of like here's all
Oh
your
yeah.
connected thoughts. I think that's the biggest scam. I don't think anyone actually gets value from it.
It's data view. Or, no, is it not? It's not data view in Obsidian. What is that called?
I don't know, but it's like a
I don't
web, and
remember.
they like bounce around when you
Yeah.
load the page. And I think no one's gotten value from that. I think everyone's lying. It's a big, yeah.
Turn it off. 100% turn it off. I do not have it enabled. Turn it off. It does nothing for you. It does not do a single thing for you. It is there for product promo images. That's it.
Yeah, it looks kind of cool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it does nothing for you.
Yes. So that is it for me. Capacities might be cool. I don't know. I'm figuring it out.
Okay. Well, that means we're gonna have to follow up.
Oh no.
Yep.
Dangerous.
It's gonna be what task manager are you using, Matt? What task manager are you using today? What task manager?
Oh no.
I thought you liked OmniFocus.
We don't need to talk about it.
Actually, OmniFocus just got the feature that I basically beg every task manager to get, and now has like a start and end date thing. So like when you start on a project or start on a task, and when you're going to end on it, because it's okay if a task takes more than one day. People, it's okay.
Arguable.
I can't make a video in a day.
It's fascinating when you talk about these apps that I never use.
Well,
I mean, there's also paper. Paper works. Yeah. Note paper with like little sticky bits on the back, maybe.
I am happy Todd got an update this week, and I really like
okay.
Todd. Yeah.
You know what I've been using this week is my Sidekick notepad. And one thing that I've been doing is every morning I take all the tasks that I need to complete for that day and I write them down in a specific order of how I'm going to do them. And that's actually been really helpful for me. It's just kind of a way to like literally, and I'm not copying everything out of my task manager because there's a bunch of little things or things that if I have time, I'll get to, but like the core stuff. And it's been really helpful.
Okay, keep that in mind when we get to the challenge. Might be relevant.
Ooh. Okay. Please keep in mind we're 2 weeks out from the iPhone event, and it's the busiest time of the year for me. Please don't break my system. Niléane, what do you got for us this week?
All right. What I have this week is something that will break your system. No,
Oh,
just
no.
kidding. Sometimes there are weeks where not much happens, and I don't have much to bring. Except that also because it's been a week where a bunch of work has resumed from the summer break. However, I have been fixing a bunch of paper cuts, and I thought I would bring them to the table today and go through all the paper cuts that I fixed this week. And
Nice.
I'm happy about them. The first one you will give me static about. Many episodes ago, I marked you for turning off auto lock on your iPhones so that your screen never goes to sleep on its own. And I've done the same now.
Yes.
Welcome to the club. You've come to the light, my child.
Yes. The reason is simple is because I have my phone on a stand a lot on my desk, and sometimes it's just easier to just keep an app open all the time for the duration of when I need it, and then I just lock it manually when I don't need it.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that I click the side button manually all the time anyway when I'm put my phone away. So there you go. You were right. I will never say this again, so savor it. And
Oh, I am. This is exciting.
Second fix is something that I posted on Mastodon, actually. I came up with a user script. I don't know if you know about user script. User script are small snippets or bigger, sometimes snippets of JavaScript that you can use with a browser extension on your computer, and they add or modify functionality on websites. And there are user scripts that do literally anything you want, but sometimes those you want don't exist. So I asked ChatGPT to come up with one because I don't know JavaScript. But the one that he came up with is very, very simple. It's a user script to fix Instagram Reels on the web. So you know how when you go on Instagram on the web, on the desktop computer, you watch Reels, the only two controls you have is mute and unmute and play pause by clicking on the video. You can't scrub through the video, jump around. You can't modify the volume like precisely. You just turn it down. You can't do that. It's either mute or unmute. And a way to do that, and this is what the user script does, is it force enables your browser's native video controls on Instagram, so that it brings back a very classic video control toolbar on every video with a scrub bar, play pause button, volume slider. And in Chromium browsers, I don't know if that's the case in Safari or in Firefox, but in Chromium browsers, at least you get even an option to change the playback speed. It's really nice. I will have a link in the show notes if you want to use the user script yourself. Third thing is I have a new mic. I got the new mic because I've been struggling to make the old one work consistently, as Chris can attest. Editor Chris can attest. I don't know what's going on with this mic. So the old one was the Audio Technica ATR 2100X, something like that. Approximately. It's a great mic. I think it sounds great. However, I found it really difficult to set right. The gain moves by itself, it seems sometimes. I think it's because it's very sensible to the way it's positioned, and I'm not good enough. I'm not consistent enough to deal with that. So I started searching for a mic, and one that came up often in recommendations online is the Shure MV7 line. This is the one that Matt already uses. They are much easier to deal with. I don't know mic things, but basically they're easier to deal with in terms of position, in terms of getting the gain right. So yeah, I got that.
They're a lot more forgiving.
Yes.
They're the modern version of the mic that I use, the Shure SM7B, which has been around since like the 80s. It was its claim to fame is this is the mic Michael Jackson used to record Thriller. That was its claim to fame.
Ooh.
This is not an easy mic to work with. The mic I have, I got this one way before the MV7 X's came out. My brother's an audio engineer, and he was like, just buy this one. And then I had to buy a cloud lifter, and I had to buy a very specific audio interface, and blah, 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 blah. Bunch of money later, just buy the one Niléane and Matt have.
Yeah, and to be precise, I got the MV7X, which is the very simple one that they sell today. So they have the MV7X and the MV7 Plus. Mac has the Plus, I believe. Yep. The Plus one you can plug in via USB-C, and it has controls on the mic itself, etc. An LED even. Does it have LED?
It does, yeah. only when plugged in with USB, so you never see it. It's just off for me.
Oh, that's sad.
So sorry. We could get more RGB in this shot if you want.
But yeah, the MV7X is just XLR, no USB, and there's nothing on the mic. There's just a XLR in, and that's it. So perfect. And yeah, so far so good. I've just been using it in meetings this week.
Nice.
Well, on the recording, you sound very, very good.
It does sound very good.
Or on the live part. I guess we'll see what
we'll
the recording
see in the
sounds
recording.
Like. We'll see. Who knows?
I did some test recordings, and I hid my voice now because I can't. Yeah, I've had to hear myself a lot. Okay, fourth thing is I bought a bit of plastic for my hand, for my hands.
I saw this in the show notes, and I'm like, what does this mean?
I wrote, I kept it vague, just to be fun, because I'm fun. A bit of plastic for my hands. This is it. This is a pop socket.
It's a pop socket.
Oh, okay.
I have a feeling Chris has very strong opinions about pop sockets, and they're not positive.
So wait. This is a MagSafe pop socket. Okay.
Okay.
Which means it snaps in a satisfying manner on the back of your
Satisfying.
phone.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So for those who don't know, it's a thing. It's a handle that you attach to the back of your iPhone via MagSafe. In the old days, you would stick it on the back of your phone or on the back of your case, and it just helps holding your iPhone without hurting your pinky and etc. This is a sad story though, because after 2 days, I could no longer bear it. Like,
Oh no.
I don't like it.
Oh no.
When I put my phone away in my pocket, it catches on my pocket. It's I so it makes it so I don't have my pinky doesn't hurt anymore. However, my index finger hurts now. So it's just moved the pain into a different finger. So.
Oh no. Yeah, I suppose something has to hold it up, right? So,
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't like it. I don't think it's worth it. This is expensive for what it is.
How much was it?
So this one was 15 at the store I got it.
Okay.
But some go for $30, for 40. They can go really, really, really expensive. So this is a sad story. Chris, what's your take on the pop
I actually
socket?
don't care. I've never used
Okay.
one. I was doing a bit. I was making faces at the camera. I don't care. I've never used one. I don't need one. I have big hands. I can hold a Pro Max phone one-handed and type on it one-handed. It doesn't bother me at all.
Okay.
dang.
So
Okay.
if
Fair
you like
enough.
them, you like them. If you don't, you don't. It doesn't bother me either way.
Dang. One of my favorite things is when we're talking about something that Chris has a very strong opinion on, and he's like
Yeah, me
just like
too,
grabbing
me
the
too.
table and like, I want to talk as soon as they pause.
I need to rage. I need to rage.
We can talk. I can talk about Superhuman anytime you want, Chris.
So my fifth item is clack. Just kidding. So
Shout out
after
to
a bit
Clack.
of plastic for my hand, I got a bit of memory foam for my feet.
Ooh, okay.
See, I'm funny.
Because
okay?
you have a standing desk now.
Exactly. So I've got a standing desk. So I got I've put a link into the show notes of the specific one I bought on Amazon France. But it's just like a mat that you put on the desk. You slip it out when you're in standing mode, and it's just a bunch of padded memory foam for your feet when you're bare feet. I'm bare feet at home, by the way. I never wear anything at home on my feet. So Chris has a take on bare feet, apparently.
I find feet disgusting.
Oh, but see, with this, it's basically it's meant for also the kitchen when you're standing in one place in the kitchen for hours at a time, doing the dishes or whatever. And I think this is very nice. It's very comfortable.
If you're looking for something like this, they're called anti-fatigue mats, and I
Okay, yeah.
also recommend them because when I've used standing desks in the past, it sucks to stand for a long period of time and not have something like soft to stand on. Because
Yeah.
I used to have hardwood floors where my old standing desk was,
yeah.
and standing on hardwood floors for like an hour barefoot or just wearing socks or something like that is not fun. So co-signed.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. How much is the sixth item in my list? Another paper cut I fixed. I wrote in the document electrical tape for my charger. So like I said, I use a Qi 2 stand on my desk. It is the Anker MacGo Qi 2 stand. I mentioned it a while ago on the show. Can you guess why I used electrical tape on this stand?
I can guess. With 100% accuracy.
Okay, I've put in a photo in the show notes if you want to click it.
Haven't even looked at that, but I
Okay.
know what the stand is, and I know exactly what you did.
You go
because
ahead.
every time you go to pull your phone off the MagSafe charger, the charger comes with it. It doesn't stay on the desk. So what you did is you took the tape, did double-sided, and then stuck it right to it. I would have used double-sided sticky tape, but making electrical tape double-sided would work as well.
Matt, what's your take? What do you think I did?
That was my guess as well because I don't see any tape in this photo.
Ah, see? So none of you are right.
What?
This is not it. You can click the photo. Listener, you also have a link.
Oh, it's gray electrical tape around it.
Yes, it's around the charger, around the round coil, the part where the coil resides. Can you guess now why I did that?
It came apart?
No. So just before I go into the reason why, I want to just what you said, Chris. I already fixed this with this charger a while ago. I have put
Okay.
adhesive putty underneath
Okay, yeah.
so that it stands firm on the desk and it doesn't come with the
Gotcha.
phone.
I did that with the Seradici Moment Infinity just iPhone stand thing. That one I did double-sided sticky tape with that one, so it would stay in place because every time I'd go to pull the phone off, the stand
Yeah.
would come with it. So that's why I thought that.
Yeah. So no, the electrical tape on this one is because this charger does something. It has a strange feature that they advertise it for, is that the Cheetos part, the MagSafe part, the magnetic part, it rotates and it clicks in place. So it's quite satisfying actually the first time you use it because you can rotate your phone to use with standby mode, for example. However, it's way too sensitive. Like it's very easy to flick it, and it just rotates on its own. And I usually just index tap my screen while it's on the stand. And every time I did that, the phone would rotate on the stand. It's infuriating. Small things like that infuriate me. So I grabbed a piece of small gray electrical tape and taped all around the charger. I did it in the cleanest way I could. And you did not realize it was there at first, so I think I did a good job. And now it doesn't rotate anymore. It's in place, and I can still rotate the phone on the stand, of course, because there's friction, and I like friction on my stand. Anyway, last fix is regarding my new desk. I have purchased something that I never thought I would purchase, and yet I did. It's a rubber edge tape thing that you line around your furniture so in this case around your desk. It's kind of rubbery, silicone-y. The material is TPE, and I did this because the edges of my desk were too sharp to my liking. And yeah, this infuriates me as well. Didn't want to return the desk just for that. So bought this thing off of Amazon and it works great. And it is fixed in place. So the one I linked in the show notes, you have to measure the thickness of your desktop and just pick the precisely cut size, and it's perfect. It's a U-shaped, so it goes around the edge, and it's very thin, so it doesn't take much space.
That's smart. I definitely at my last IT job, I hated my desk because it wasn't really a desk. Like this whole doesn't matter. But it was essentially a countertop that my office was really weird, but it always had like a sharp right angle to it. So if I was wearing like short sleeves or something, yeah, it was like super sharp against my arm to the point where I was always wearing long sleeves in Fresno when it would be 110 degrees outside because it was so sharp against my arm. So I totally get where you're coming from on this. Like, yeah, that's an annoying thing. And if you make a desk that has right angles on the edges where your arms go, you are a bad person.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was a real a smorgasbord of.
Yeah, I'm done. Paper cuts fixed.
Life is
except
good.
the pop socket was a failure. There was an attempt.
I love a good paper cut fix week. Like I think I've had a topic like this before, or a couple of times maybe, where it's just like, here's a bunch of things I fixed this week, and I just feel good about it. Like you feel good when you fix things.
Yeah.
I had to fix my garage door recently. That was not. Anyways, that's a whole
What a
thing.
paper cut.
That was
big cut.
Sounds like a
that was
nightmare.
a whole thing. All right. Well, you guys ready to get in the challenge?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
All right. Well, it was my challenge, and the challenge was pitch a new Apple product line. And something we talked about in the show was you had to come up with like a line of products, the names, and some features and stuff like that. Would you guys like me to go first?
Yeah.
By all means.
Okay. So, the product that I really want Apple to make, and I actually came up with a couple, but the one that I settled on is just so obviously me. I want them to make a TV. Like, I know it was rumored for years that they were working on a TV, and I'm not talking about a set-top box. I mean an actual TV with a screen. And the screen is the important part, because how I want them to make it is the M4 iPad Pro has an OLED display, and everyone that's ever seen one has one comment about it. It is the best OLED display they have ever seen. Right? Matt, you have one? Niléane, have you seen one?
No, the latest iPad Pro I've had was the mini LED.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Matt, you have an M4 one. And you have other OLED displays. Would you say the
I
M4
do.
iPad Pro has the best OLED display?
I'm looking at an OLED screen right now. It probably is of all things considered. Very good.
So I would like them to take that tandem OLED technology, which I kind of got some briefings on this when the product was announced and I was in New York. And basically, they had to take two OLED displays and smack them together. So the three products the models that I would like is a 65-inch TV, which would just be called Apple TV, and the names are going to be confusing because
I was going to say I'm
Apple.
already confused.
The names are going to be confusing because this is Apple, people. Like they're going to do it in the most confusing way
This is your call.
possible.
It's going to be called Apple TV, and the Apple TV will remain Apple TV.
And the Apple TV will remain the Apple TV. Yes, it's going to be the most confusing naming possible because it's Apple.
Is it going to be two separate items like on the main menu at like apple.com? There's Apple TV and Apple TV.
Yeah. So they'll have like the home tab or whatever it's under right now with like all the home pods and stuff, and there'll be Apple TV and it'll have the set-top box icon, and then there'll be Apple TV and it'll have a TV icon.
Okay.
And you go to the TV icon, and there'll be three models. So there'll be a 65-inch Apple TV, a 75-inch Apple TV Pro, because you need a professional TV at 75 inches, and an 85-inch Apple TV Pro Max, because they're going to follow the naming. They thought about doing Apple TV Air, but that didn't really make any sense. It's going to cost $1 bajillion, because if you think about how much that iPad Pro costs, 85-inch TV is not going to be cheap. So this is probably why they won't make it. It'll have the Apple TV, the box, built into it. It'll have CEC that actually works properly. But here's where I went a little crazy. I was like, Apple loves their accessories. Apple does not put out a product that doesn't have accessories. I mean, if you think about the iPhone, they have cases, they have MagSafe. I would count AirPods as an accessory to the iPhone. Apple Watch even, and that's like a whole nother thing. You know, the Mac, you have keyboard and mouse. The iPad, you have Apple Pencil, Magic, all that stuff. So the accessory for this would be a gaming controller. Apple's finally going to make a gaming controller. So one, you can play all the native apps that come to the Apple TV. You don't need to go and buy a PlayStation controller. They're going to sell you a game controller that Apple made. This is an Apple branded game controller that Apple made. But Apple is also going to embrace game streaming and either most likely buy or partner with a game streaming company, which it probably won't be Microsoft or Nvidia then.
Yeah.
It'll probably be one of these smaller ones because they have beef with both of them now. But yeah, so that's my thought process on the Apple TV.
All right, yeah. I really like the name.
Thank you. I worked really hard
The
on those.
better part, yeah.
Yeah, truly just a chaos demon decision to call it Apple TV. So
But let's be honest. If Apple was to release a physical TV, they wouldn't stop making the set-top box. That would be dumb.
Or maybe they
But
would.
they would name it the Apple TV. I don't think they would, because I think it would be. I think even they know it'd be too expensive for most people. Like if they made a TV.
Yeah.
So, and they're not going to want to give up the set-top box thing because of Apple TV Plus, because I'm sure they get a lot. I mean, look at like by default on the Apple TV, it goes to the TV app when you hit the home button. And that
That's
thing is
true.
just chock full of Apple TV Plus advertisements. Like that app, I loved that app before Apple TV Plus. Now I'm like, okay, like there's too much of your guys' stuff in here.
Okay. Would it have HDMI inputs on the back?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I,
Okay.
I said they fixed CEC too. I think the Apple would realize they have to have that for game consoles.
Mm.
And like what I didn't get into, what I was going to explore a little bit more under the accessories category, is they would make a sound bar, subwoofer, and rear speakers as well to take on Sonos. But I didn't put that in there. But that was another thought I had.
Okay. I would not be able to afford
Okay.
this, but I would want it.
I would have to take out a second mortgage for it.
All right.
All right, Niléane, what do you got for us?
All right. Don't click
Okay.
my section. Just don't be spoiled. I will reveal as we go.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm getting cozy.
First off, good morning. And
Good morning.
second,
Good morning.
good morning. Second, we have one more thing.
Whoa. I didn't think about presenting mine in keynote style.
I almost did slides, but I did this
I almost did
today at the
slides too.
last minute, and I didn't have time to make slides. So,
Oh, that would have been fantastic.
yes. Okay. This product is called the Apple Pack. And I have a non-working prototype to show you.
Okay. Whoa.
All right. There you go. This is the Apple Pack.
Oh.
So it's a backpack, but made by Apple.
Okay.
Yeah. It's white, single color. Yeah. This is a non-working prototype. Okay. Nothing is contractual here.
It doesn't work. That is a
No,
non-functional
it's just
backpack. Okay.
you know, like
Okay.
when they showed off the Air Power after the event and it was,
Oh, okay.
wasn't
We
working.
don't know if they have the technology for this yet.
Yes,
But
exactly.
So this may not ship. This may not ship at all.
I will get to shipping in a moment.
Okay.
So this is a backpack. It has Find My built in, of course.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in this backpack, everything works with magnets, of course. So the straps are detachable with magnets. They clasp into place, very strong magnets. You can trust them. The main flap at the front also with magnets. It's a zipperless. The Apple Pack is zipperless. And the magnets everywhere, including the pouches, the flap, the straps, they all auto-lock when your iPhone is away from Apple Pack.
Oh.
Okay. So if you walk away, everything locks. And also when you wear it on your back, the straps have sensors that detect when you're wearing it, which means everything locks. You can't get pickpocketed when you're wearing the Apple Pack. When you're wearing Apple Pack, sorry, no the.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. It doesn't stop there, of course. This Apple Pack features a built-in battery. Why? Because the front pouch has wireless charging for your accessory. So you just throw in your iPhone and it snaps into place. It's lined with magnets all over the place, and coils will just snap into place inside the pouch and will charge using the built-in battery in Apple Pack, of course. On the straps, when you're wearing it, so this strap is in front of you, right, on your chest, and on either side of your chest. You have a special pouch for your AirPods. So slip your AirPods in, and they will charge as well when they are inside the pouch, right? All right, it doesn't stop there because, of course, Apple Pack integrates with Apple Watch, which means it will plug into your whole data set, health data set. It measures your carried weight at all times and sends you notifications if it's too dangerous considering your current physical condition, as
That's
measured by the
nice.
Apple Watch, of course.
Oh.
Yeah, and it also measures and tracks your balance when you're running, walking, standing with the Apple Pack on your back.
Is
Apple
there?
Pack,
Oh,
yes.
sorry.
Go ahead, go ahead.
I was gonna say, is there room to expand this line in a future year to an Apple Pack Ultra for like
We will get to
mountaineers?
that, of course,
Okay,
Mr.
okay.
Butler.
Apologies.
This Apple Pack comes with accessories. You can accessorize it.
Nice.
Yes. The straps, of course, like I said, are detachable. You will be able to customize your straps. Seasonal colors will be released every year.
I was so excited when you said they were magnetic and you could replace them. I was like, yes.
Yeah, just pick them up, replace it. The Apple Pack, as you can see, features Starlight White. It is Starlight White, of course. There will never be another color. It's just Starlight White. However, the straps, you will have like a full range of colors, seasonal colors every year. You can change out your straps every year. It will be very, very fun.
So there won't be another version of Space Gray for this backpack?
It's
Like
just
there won't be
Starlight
like a
White, obviously.
51st version of Space Gray? Oh, that's
We
disappointing.
do not. I mean, we do not comment on future products. But
Oh, yeah. Okay, sorry.
In my head, it looks like the Vision Pro carrying case material, like
Yeah.
that sort of like astronaut white.
Yeah, let's go
kinda
with that. Yes.
thing.
The straps, they will be the same silicone as Apple Watch bands, so very strong, very resistant. Apple Pack is, of course, water resistant, just resistant. However, there's another accessory you can purchase, which is the rain shield. The rain shield will be a full-on enclosure for your Apple Pack, which you can add on with magnets as well when it's raining outside. A exciting addition to Apple Pack is the compatibility with Mac Pro wheels, which you can attach. Sorry.
Didn't see it coming.
I did not see that. That was fantastic.
Which means you can turn.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is all staying in.
Okay, so what do you do with the wheels?
Sorry.
Okay.
Which you can attach to turn it into a suitcase, of course.
Oh, that's
Yes.
nice.
Yes. In a suitcase. All right. And the final and major accessory for Apple Pack is the charging stand. The charging stand, of course, is beautiful. It's made of aluminum, and you will be able to place it in your home next to your main entrance. The idea is that you come home, just plop down Apple Pack on its charging stand. The built-in battery will recharge 50,000 milliamp hours. Plenty of juice in there. So that will be able to recharge on the stand. The stand is beautiful. You can also put it in a very, you can showcase it. Like you can showcase Apple Pack in your living room. It will be beautiful. All right. But that's not it. That's not all. Sorry.
Whoa.
Yes. We will also release Apple Pack Pro. Apple Pack Pro is everything you love about Apple Pack, but with bigger capacity and a modular interior design. So you'll be able to customize the layout inside Apple Pack Pro. We're very excited about this. Of course, it means every Apple Pack Pro will be very, very personal. Like you will be able to suit it to every use case. Apple Pack will ship in 2030, and Apple Pack starts at $12.99 US dollars, $15.99 in euros. Apple Pack Pro starts at $17.99 US dollars, 19.99 euros. The Apple straps for Apple Pack will start at $99 each. So that's, of course, 119 euros. And straps with AirPods pouch will start at $149. Of course, 179 euros. Rain shield to protect your Apple Pack will start at 49 US dollars, 59 euros. And Mac Pro wheels will be discounted when sold with Apple Pack, and they will start at 499 US dollars instead of 699.
Can't
Huge
afford not
discount.
to.
We're very excited about this.
Gotta get
And
those wheels out of the factory somehow.
and
Can't
of
wheel
course,
them out.
and of course, the charging stand will be 99 US dollars. It is sold separately.
Honestly, the accessories seem reasonably priced.
Yeah,
I
know.
I would buy this at that price. I'm
This is
I'm
like
a
stop
bit of
selling.
a
You've already sold.
I have way too many bags already, but I'd buy this.
All right, so very excited. See you next time. And now you too.
Oh God, no! Run, run, run!
Check your music library. It's already there.
I would like to thank my partner who brainstormed this with me just an hour before we started recording.
This was very
Love it.
complete. Very good.
It was
Yes.
very good. I love the presentation and the Mac Pro wheels. That was perfect.
I didn't see it coming.
I did not see that coming. That was fantastic. Matt, what do you got for us?
Well, good morning, first of all.
Good morning.
Morning.
You can click into mine if you want, because I
Okay.
didn't put it there.
There's nothing.
So you can't.
Nothing.
No spoilers. You have no idea what I'm bringing. It may even appear that I don't have anything, but I do. I am bringing Apple Print, a printer that just works. And
That's
isn't
impossible. I'll stop
isn't
you right
that
there.
what we all want? We said these could be sci-fi ideas. They don't have to be technically possible. This is a printer that just freaking works.
And how did it?
We did not say that.
I don't think we did.
I am following the rules as I always do.
Yeah.
So here's Apple Print. This is you're gonna love this. I'm going to talk about the design. I'm going to talk about the features, and then, as Niléane said, there have to be accessories. So we do have an accessory for this. So design-wise, you can already envision it. It's beautiful. It's made of a mixture of aluminum and the highest quality polycarbonate you've ever seen. It comes in two colors, white and space gray. So whether you're at home, in an office, whatever work setting you have, whatever setting you need to put it in, it's going to fit right in. You're going to be proud to show this printer. One of the key features of this printer is that it prints silently. You don't hear it printing, and you can put it on the most rinky-dink little stand you want because it doesn't shake back and forth when it prints. We're using advanced gyroscopes to do whatever they do to make it so it steadies itself. This is, of
Wow.
course, going to be a color laser printer, so it's not going to run out of ink or have the ink dry out as you inevitably don't use it every day. You don't have to use every Apple product every day. You're going to use this once every 3 months, but when you need it, it just works. So that's the core design. It's going to look beautiful. It's going to look like just a rectangle, but it's going to be very nice. Now, obviously, I hear what you're saying. I don't need this. I need some features that are really going to blow me away. So when you take Apple Print out of the box, it's the easiest printer to set up you've ever set it up. You just open it near one of your Apple devices, and just like AirPods, a little thing will pop up with a spinning printer, and it will say connect. You say connect, and you're done. 2 seconds of work, you are there. Now, how do you print from it? You know how to print, but we make printing even easier with Apple Print because, much like transferring something from your audio you're playing from your iPhone to a HomePod where you just hold it next to it, if you have a
Yeah.
PDF or a document pulled up on your phone, just hold it next to the printer and it will immediately start printing it for you, again, silently and without rocking back and forth. Additionally, Apple Print is battery powered, so you don't need to have it plugged in However, if you don't want to, well, to charge it up you do, but you don't have to have it. You can put it wherever is convenient for you. Maybe you don't have it by an outlet. Maybe you want it somewhere in your office. Again, you're using the sucker once every 3 months. You don't need it every day. And it's just going to be absolutely sipping power the whole time. You can just have it sitting wherever you want, or just have it plugged in at all times, whatever works for you. You want to take it to the beach and print? You can do that, of course. It'll be water and sand resistant as well, I guess. You'll be able to see the status of it in Control Center. It will integrate with Find My. So again, if you leave it at the beach, you can go find where you left it. And it'll also show like battery power in there, just like your AirPods and those sorts of things do. It will integrate with, it'll have a scanner built in, I should say. That scanner, when you scan something, you can obviously scan to print if you want, but you can also scan and it will instantly upload it to Apple Notes or iCloud, whatever you'd prefer. And it will have full App Intense shortcut support, so you can create automations on your devices that automatically print things. I hear what you're saying. What automations involve printing? And I have some ideas for you. So
Exactly what I'm saying, yes.
So what if a lot of people have a daily routine thing, like a morning routine thing that does a bunch of things. Chris, you just talked about this, how at the start of your day, you like to get the things you want to do on a piece of paper. Well, I'm hoping that the writing it down isn't the part that you need. It's just having them on paper that you need, because you could make it so that this automation automatically, while you're just doing your other stuff, whatever, automatically prints out a sheet. You can go to your desk, pick it up, and you have your tasks right there, ready to go. Another one, you can trigger a print job from anywhere in the world. You're not at home. Your significant other needs something. You can just print it out from there. Obviously, this is all connected to the internet, to your Apple account. Everything's great. Supports family sharing, all that good stuff. What else? Obviously, you'll get notifications when service is needed. Oh, and the other final nice little feature is that, you know how there's different paper sizes, you put them in the printer, and then you have that little piece of plastic you have to butt up against it.
Yeah.
And then if you have regular paper versus glossy paper versus photo matte paper, there's all sorts of things you have to tell the printer this. You don't have to do that with the Apple Print, of course. It will just detect things automatically. It will very satisfyingly just move that little thing to grab the paper and hold it steady for you. No need to do that. It'll also detect the paper type, so you don't have to change that in your print settings. Now, I obviously know you want this printer right now, and you want to know, what's the accessory? How am I going to spend more money? I cannot spend enough money on Apple Print. And that's where I'm happy to introduce Apple Paper, which is just nice paper.
Of course.
So, of course, it will work with your regular 8.5 by 11, A4, 4x6, whatever paper you have. It'll obviously work with that. You can buy that cheap old paper from the store. That'll work. However, Apple Paper is optimized for Apple Print. And I had to research, what does fancy paper mean? Because I had no idea. And here are the things that Apple Paper has. Ultra high brightness, so very white, very pure color for the paper. It's going to be a heavier paper stock than normal. It's going to have a smooth, kind of glossy almost finish. And it's going to be acid-free and very good for archiving things. So if you're printing things to save them for a long time, this paper will be very friendly for you. The printer itself is going to retail for $999. The black one will be $1,099, just for tradition. And the paper will be just unbelievably more than you expect, but it's there. You're just going to get it. You're going to get it because you want the fancy paper. So that's Apple Print, and I would get your pre-orders in now because it's going to sell like crazy.
I would buy one. My grandmother, who is in her 80s, just bought a printer. She didn't talk to me or my dad, who works in IT. She didn't talk to either of us beforehand. She just bought a printer because she needed to print some tax documents. And she bought a Canon printer. And this Canon printer, she bought it and called me to go over and get it all set up. Long story short, in order for this Canon printer to print anything after you physically bought it, gave somebody money for it, requires a subscription on top of it. In order to print anything. So you have to buy the printer and then pay a subscription on top of that. And she did not know that. So this sounds very nice. And to
Damn.
Canon, who I normally love because I love their cameras, Canon. But yeah. So this would be nice. A printer that actually works.
Yikes.
Maybe Apple Paper is a subscription, but it's just extra.
I did think about this. It knows how much paper you have left. It could auto order it for you. I didn't want to mess with that. I thought maybe Apple One there could be some sort of perk here if you're a subscriber to that. I didn't want to make it too complicated. Let's not make printers too complicated. They should be. Yeah, and that this would just work. Would it work with Windows? Probably. Would it work with other devices? I assume so. I don't know how, but I can't imagine them
We
putting
don't care about those. They don't
Yeah,
exist.
yeah.
Maybe
Consider it like a studio
after 10
display.
years, the EU will force it to work with Windows, maybe.
Yeah, you must put a printer cable.
Oh,
Into it.
an old SCSI cable. That's what it's got. It's got to have a SCSI cable.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. All right. Well, I love this challenge. I don't know about you guys,
Wow.
but this was a lot of fun. I absolutely love this.
Yeah,
Oh,
this
yeah.
was a good one. An all-timer.
Yeah. All right. Well, Matt, I think you're up next, right?
I am. So the new challenge is a simple one. This was a very deep one. Mine is a simple one. It doesn't have anything to do with icon colors or anything. Don't worry. We're a few months away from that happening again. Mine is very simple. Change something with your input methods.
I kid you not. In my list of challenge ideas, I have change your input method. In there, I kid you not, I have that as a challenge as well. That is freaky weird.
The dads are the same.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this could be, I use an MX Master as my main input. Maybe this is using a different mouse. Maybe it's modifying this mouse. Niléane, our setups are becoming the same. We have the same mic arm as well. Could be, Chris, you could go all in on the Apple Pencil if you don't use that a lot. I don't know. Get creative with it.
I like this.
Or don't. Or just like try another mouse and review it or something. Whatever you
Honestly,
want.
this is the perfect excuse to buy another keyboard. The only issue is getting it here in time.
Oh, interesting. My intention was pointer input.
Oh. Okay.
So no Siri or anything.
Okay. Yeah, no, like
Pointer
okay.
input methods.
Okay.
Okay. Unless that makes it boring, in which case we're back to normal input method.
No, I like it.
I like it. I like it.
You guys don't like it. I'm going, no, input methods. Input
Since when?
methods.
No, it could be that. It could be pointer.
Since
That's
when are we
fine.
changing challenges because people don't like it?
Yeah, there's a lot of challenges we don't like.
Yeah.
Remember when you made me use reminders?
That was episode 1. And
That wasn't even episode 1. That was like the test episode.
And he
Oh,
will
you're right,
never
you're right.
forget it.
Yep, yeah.
Remember that time I
all right.
listened to Coldplay's entire discography and you just didn't listen to a single song?
Yeah, exactly.
That was great.
That was my protest. All right. Well, let's wrap up the show here. We have an end of the show question, and this one I think we all kind of like this one. It was submitted in the feedback form. Please submit some questions if you have anything you want to know about us. Feedback form link is in the show notes, description, whatever you want to call it. But this one is: what would it take for you to switch to Android?
Liquid glass, obviously.
I knew she was going to say that. I think for me, like literally, Apple would have to stop making the iPhone. I did a year stint on an Android device. We talked about it when we did like our phone history. And there's really like what I love about the iPhone is apps, and especially like third-party indie app developers. There really isn't that on Android. I mean, there is to an extent, but you know, you're not going to get the same level of quality that you get on iOS. Like, there's not a drafts or a things kind of thing. So, I literally think Apple would have to stop making the iPhone.
Yeah, I actually have almost exactly the same answer. It's third-party apps. The built-in apps are fine. Like, I could use Chrome, I could use all those things and everything, but the third-party apps suck. I'm sorry, they really, really do. Looking at my home screen right now, Carrot Weather is on Android, but it's like I think the developer tried it and then didn't really click. So it's older.
I
Yeah.
think they commissioned another developer
Oh,
to
did
do
they?
the
They
Android
outsourced
port.
it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's definitely, it's not the same. It's not as
Yeah.
good. Castro isn't there. Besto Masto isn't there. Things isn't there.
Quick reviews.
RSS readers, there's some that are there. No Mime Stream, no. I don't think Notion Mail is even on Android yet. I think that's still iOS only. Yeah, the app situation. Those coffee games, the daily coffee games, are only iOS. So I think I should double check that. But yeah, it's the app ecosystem. There's just not the stuff that I like to use.
Yep. All right.
Same answer. My real answer is the same as you guys.
Yeah. Well, that brings us to the end of the show. Thank you all so much for listening, and a huge thank you to Mac Stories. We are a Mac Stories podcast after all, so go check out all the other writings and podcasts. There's a lot of stuff happening. It's almost September, or by the time you're listening to this, it'll be September. So, right? Yeah. So you know what that means. iPhone month, iOS, iPadOS, there's going to be a ton of stuff on the site. So be sure to go check it all out. Matt, Niléane, you guys have anything you want to promote or say goodbye?
Not much. Goodbye.
There's a comment on one of my recent YouTube videos that is blowing up the charts, and I need you to go downvote it. It'll surely be the top comment. So just go to my recent videos, and then if you see Chris, thumbs down.
Like those comments. Sorry, I'm used to saying like the video.
I have something to promote.
Okay.
You can go on that video and reply. No downvote, no upvote. Just reply. Say something snarky. Just let the debate roll on for days and days and never ends.
I mean, that's true. Engagement is good. So
I
do support
that engagement. Don't reply to a comment. Create a new comment so the engagement's higher. Yeah. Create a new comment. Don't reply to a comment. Hashtag. It's all about that hashtag engagement. I just did that. If you're not a video viewer, you're missing out. All right, let's wrap up. Thank you all so much for listening. Have a great day.
Bye.